energy for nth orbit. The formula is, check it, minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 z square upon n square, and the unit is joule per atom. Okay, now the unit here is joules, but suppose if the unit is electron volt per atom, then remember the value will be this. You need to by heart this, please. Are you all getting this? Check the value, it's in negative. Please remember 1 electron volt is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. Is this much okay what I am talking about? So here if you talk about energy, the first thing, give importance to a negative sign. Yes, here the energy is in negative, means the electron is quite stable. See, whenever a system has no energy or a positive energy, then we say definitely the one which has zero energy is stable. But if the energy is negative, what it means? It means that much energy have been released and the given electron is quite stable. Okay? Please, you need to by heart the value in joule per atom and the value in electron volt. Normally the values of energy they ask in electron volt. Okay. Now, what is Z here? Atomic number. But we clearly said that Bohr have explained all the concept with respect to hydrogen atom. So, in case of hydrogen atom, Z is 1. So, you will find that the formula, whatever is given in our notes, will not have Z square because they are talking for hydrogen atom. Are you all registering this? I repeat, majority of the time they use this particular value. Okay, so now what are we going to do next? Can I take 13.595 as 13.6? Yes. So now we proceed with the calculation of minus 13.6. Okay, so let's check. We know for hydrogen Z is 1. So the formula will be minus 13.6 n square EV, that is electron volt. Okay, now if the electron is in first orbit, you will have energy as, is this fine? If n is 2, come on, so definitely this will be divided by 4. Why? Because here you will be writing correct. Okay, and when you solve this, your answer is correct with a negative sign. Now try to understand. When it was even, it was minus 13.6. And when the electron went to the second orbit, the number is minus 3.4. Now can you tell me which energy is more? Please understand here the energy is with negative sign. It means the substance is having minus 13.6 less. And here the energy is just minus 3.4 less. So where the energy is more? In the second orbit. So what you conclude, as you move away from the nucleus, energy will increase. I repeat, if I consider E1, E2, E3, E4, N is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know this is 13.6 eV per atom. This we got 3.4. This will be minus 1.5. Why? Because here you have divided it by 9. So what are you concluding? That as we are moving away from the nucleus, or as we are increasing the orbit, the energy is also increasing. Here it will be correct. So it's going to be minus 13.6 upon 16. So it comes to this. Are you all getting it? Please understand the negative sign with a bigger value means it's ultimately a smaller value. Okay. Now, can I conclude it this way? That the formula which we had was this. Correct? In this particular formula, if you notice, as atomic number will increase, this entire answer will increase, but with the negative sign, answer is increasing with a negative sign, means ultimately energy will decrease. I hope I'm clear with this. I repeat, if you say that Z value is increasing, atomic number is increasing, so numerical value will increase. But with the negative sign, the total number will reduce. Okay. Now, suppose if you say n square is in denominator, correct? So if I increase the value of n, the total numerical value will decrease, correct? But that decreased value have a negative sign. So ultimately what you conclude, that energy will increase. In short, remember, as we move away from the nucleus, the energy will increase. Okay? Now, can you tell me what is the difference in the energy between the first and the second orbit? Yes. Correct? You can add it and check it. So such questions they ask. What? If electron wants to jump from first orbit to second orbit, how much energy it has to absorb? Why? This much energy was released. But when it wants to jump to second, it has to have minus 3.4. Means out of minus 13.6 which got released, now it has to release only minus 3.4. Means definitely it has to absorb some energy, and that energy will be 10.2. Are you getting this? Now, can you tell me what will be the ratio of energies? Okay. Now let me not write 13.6. Let me say for the first one, let the energy be even. So for the second one, it will be even divided by 4. So can I say the energy which is given here is having a ratio of what? Correct. 1, 1 by 4, 1 by 9 and 1 by 16. Is this much okay what I am talking about? You remember same thing we had concluded even for radius. Okay. So energy of the electron which is changing is discontinuously. Now what it means, if you see the difference is not same, difference is changing. Can you tell me what is the difference between this and this? Just now we did it. Correct. How we got this? Correct. What was the next one we found? You need to by heart this. Can you tell me what is the difference between these two? 10.2. Can you tell me what is the difference between the second orbit and the third orbit? Now you will find here the difference is going to be less. It's nearly what we conclude that between the first and the second orbit the gap is more, but when you go from second to third the orbits are coming closer, so it's easy to jump from E2 to E3 because the energy which is needed will be just 1.9. But if you have to jump from E1 to E2, the energy absorption will be much high, that is 10.2. I hope you are getting this. Okay. Now as we discuss the formula to calculate radius, energy which we saw, there is one more formula and that is to calculate velocity. If you see the number remains same 2.18 but the power is 10 raised to 8 atomic number upon orbit number. So if you remember in radius we saw n square was here. In energy it was inversely, and here also it's inversely, but it's just orbit number. Okay, just remember this formula. You may get numerical or any MCQ based on this, and believe me we are just learning hydrogen, so in that case Z is going to be 1. Clear? Okay, fine. As we have discussed how to find energy of an electron which is in a given Bohr orbit, we already saw two ways to express energy. One of them what we discussed was minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 upon n square joule per atom. Correct? The second one which is frequently used is minus 13.6 n square electron volt per atom. Definitely there is one more factor, Z square. Correct. Now check this. This is in kilojoules per mole, and we know 1 mole corresponds to Avogadro's number. So please remember these three. We majority of the time use this. But to confuse you all, if they give unit in joule per atom or kilojoule per mole, you need to by heart this value. Write it 3 times and practice it. Is this part okay? Now we conclude that energy of an electron is inversely proportional to square of orbit number, and the same energy is directly proportional to square of atomic number. Suppose I give you isoelectronic species, and let's assume that their n value is same. So how do we calculate energy? Well, energy is directly proportional to minus z square. So whose atomic number is highest? Correct? So definitely numerical wise energy will be highest for beryllium, but it will be with negative sign. So your answer will be, are you getting this? Okay. So what do we conclude? As orbit number increases, energy increases. Why? Because if orbit number is increasing, this total answer will decrease. Correct? This total answer will decrease. But this is with negative sign. So smaller value with the negative sign ultimately means the entire value is increasing. Okay? But if I say atomic number is increasing, energy will decrease. I hope this is very, very clear. Okay?